Steve, let's talk diamond here, brother, because in this matchup that we have here for you, Nationals and Pirates, basically the question is Washington. They get the sweep over the weekend, right? Something they haven't done since 2011 against Milwaukee. First time they've done it on the road since 2006. So they've already made history. But now it's, do they win 4 in a row here? Do the Washington Nationals? Well, the odds makers say probably not, because we're seeing north of $2 here for Skeens and the Pirates. Do we have a live dog situation? Are you just going to try and take the bullpens out of this? Say, hey, let's look for some strikeouts from Skeens early. How are you looking to bet a red-hot Nationals team that is now near a $2 underdog here on the road against the Pirates?
$2. I want my $2. Not Friday, today. Better Off Dead. Great 80s movie.
Great
if you
reference.
like Better Off Dead, comment below. I read the comments, I reply back. What are your other favorite 80s movies? One Crazy Summer is actually better than Better Off Dead, another very underrated John Cusack movie. And, of course, he's in 16 Candles, which is perhaps the greatest movie of all time. My Washington Nationals, red hot. My Washington Nationals, because they've won 3 straight in Milwaukee, as Dan said. So now they're my Nationals once again. But I also love Paul Skeens. He might be my favorite player. He's just so professional. He's so good. And he's on such a mediocre team. But when he pitches, they're a pretty good team. And they're having a decent season, 9-6 overall, 7-3 their last 10. So, normally I'm not looking to lay over $2 against a team that's won 3 in a row. I do believe in offensive momentum in baseball. I like to look at offensive momentum. And the Nationals did hit the ball well in Milwaukee. They had 31 hits in those 3 wins. And, of course, 18 runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I'm also not looking to fade Skeens. It's a quick turnaround. They had to come back from Chicago, no rest situation. It's not ideal. You got a hot offense against a really good pitcher. That kind of negates it. You got a hot underdog against a really good starter. All things equal, though, I would still rather have Paul Skeens. Overall in the season, I think his ERA is like 5.3. Last year, 1.97. The year before, 1.96. We talk about NBA postseason player props, how you look for good guys to bounce back. I don't think anything is wrong with Skeens. Not going to read too much into it, mainly because he had that really bad outing against the Mets to start the season, in which he gave up 5 earned runs in less than 1 inning. He has since given up 2 earned runs in his last 11-plus innings, and he's had 11 strikeouts during that span. So his overall seasonal stats, very misleading. He's been really good in his last 2 games. And, oh, by the way, he got wins in both of those. If you're going to play, it'd be the Pirates for me, but I'm not in a habit of laying over $2 in the MLB. I like using the run line in this situation, taking the Pirates down to -1.5, and now we're getting them at plus money. Skeens at plus money is always worth a look, in my opinion, at 6:40 Eastern tonight on Monday.
I love it, Steve. Well, we're taking a look on that one and appreciate the breakdown, Steve. Before we talk game 2 here, we got Mets and Dodgers. Not as huge of a favorite, but still pretty big sizable favorite, as we've come to accustom here with the Dodgers. But before that, Steve, what do you have rocking? I know you mentioned we're moving out of quiet time and into one of your favorite times of the year, which is the NBA playoffs. How about on a Monday? What do you got rocking for folks over at your page, wt.buzz/SM?
Yeah, a rare day with no basketball because there are no games scheduled. College hoops was last Monday, and now the NBA is taking the day off because the play-in round starts this Tuesday. But you want to be on board the rest of the NBA season. There's different ways to do it. You, of course, can get an NBA-only package, but why sleep on baseball? Baseball is a daily moneymaker for the next several months up until the start of football, and it goes beyond that as well. All Sport All Access is still a great deal. We have the buy 3, get 3 days free. 6 days for $69, dude. Normally it's 3 days. You get 6 days for $69. Or the Summer Spectacular. Haven't talked about that yet. That just came online this weekend. That's the entire summer through August 31st. That'll actually get you some football. And it'll, of course, get you the entire NBA playoffs and also the next 3.5 months of baseball. 141 days if you start today through August 31st for $7.49. That works out to just over $5 a day, about $2 a play for every basketball and baseball best bet all summer long and even into football through August 31st. No promo codes needed. Check them out on my page. And don't forget about the daily free play. The last cut, just a bit outside for making my best bet card, goes up as a bonus free play. So go get a bonus free play for Monday night and a strong baseball best bet, which is up there right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker, wt.buzz/SM.
All right, Steve, let's talk this Mets and Dodgers game because sure, the Mets probably needed a little change of scenery after basically getting booed out of Citi Field after what they did this weekend against the A's. Unfortunately for them, their palate cleanser on this 6-game road trip gets to begin with the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani. So, hey, let's have some fun here, Mets. Is this the bounce back spot you think they need? Or is this, hey, if you're playing you're laying kind of situation with the Dodgers here at home, how are you looking to attack this one, Steve?
Yeah, it's one of those rare opportunities where you actually don't need the run line with the Dodgers at home. Normally, to get that price reasonable, we got to lay the run and a half, but they're only about $1.55, $1.60 home favorite here, and they're actually getting a plus 120 on the run line, minus 1.5. But I'm going to look at the total actually in this battle of two lefties on the mound, a pair of southpaws. Weird things are going to happen in LA tonight with two southpaws on the mound. I do think there'll be some runs. On the surface, I'm not in a hurry normally to back an offensive team like the Mets, as you mentioned, that are in terrible current form. They've scored 2 runs or less in 4 of their last 5 games. They've been shut out in 2 of their last 3 games against the mighty A's at home. I think that the change of scenery comes at the right time. Cross-country trip, no rest. I actually look for a reverse of momentum. So, yes, they're on a 5-game losing streak. I'm not looking to catch that falling knife, but I do think the offense will pick up tonight, and both teams can put the ball in play in this one with 2 very mediocre pitchers on the mound. David Peterson so far this year for the Mets in 3 starts, a no decision, 2 losses, a 6.1 ERA. He's been one of the worst pitchers in baseball. He has only 14 strikeouts in 14 innings pitched. Wroblewski also for the Dodgers. I don't expect much from him. He made 1 start at Toronto as an emotional start, returned to where the World Series was. He did pitch well at Toronto a week ago on Monday. But I think he regresses a little bit here tonight. 2 starters I think the offenses can get to, and it's a fairly low total because, first of all, it's an LA home game. We usually see modest totals here. And also, as I mentioned earlier, because the Mets are not hitting the ball well offensively. So the total's at 8.5. We get that key number of 9 working in our favor. Whenever I see an 8.5, I'm always kind of looking for a reason to play overs because 7 and 9s are the key number. Because if you think about it, games are less likely to land on even numbers because of extra innings. 3-3 has to get to 7. 4-4 has to get to 9. So over 8.5 has some value here. If you are worried about the Mets' ice-cold offense, you could just play a team total Dodgers over 4.5. So either the game over 8.5 or the team total Dodgers over 4.5, I think are both good ways to attack this late-night special Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and Steve, if you're one of the people that believe in, hitting lineups, backing up their pitchers, the last time that Wroblewski was on the mound, 14 runs. They scored 2 touchdowns, converted the extra points. So if you're a believer in the team backing up maybe a more sheepish type pitcher, last time when they were facing off against the Blue Jays, and that was on the road, 14 runs across. So they would have cashed the over by themselves.
It makes sense. Like I've never used that much as a handicapping factor, but the guy I always think of, if you guys recall, remember DeGrom when he was in his heyday with the Mets, how bad his offensive support was like 5-6 years ago. And that's what first got me thinking about it. And if you really do kind of get into the heads of the players, if you know your ace, and it might not work as well this way, but I think if you know if your ace is on the mound, it's kind of like overlooking an opponent when you're going to be a 30-point favorite, right? You're like, we're a $3 favorite today. And so I always thought maybe there was a little something to the guys not hitting the ball like when the best pitcher in the league was on the mound. But, Dan, the other reverse would work as well. When you have a weaker pitcher on the mound like tonight, the offense probably knows they need to show up. So it's an interesting theory that I used to overlook. I 10% use it now, I guess you could say.
Yeah, no, and honestly, it's a good talking point. It's not something that I would, put it all in on, but I completely agree. When you're trying to find that extra, find the extra little edge. That's it. That's exactly it. And guys, that game doesn't go until 10:10 Eastern time is when first pitch is scheduled. So plenty of time for that line to settle in. I am seeing some 9s out there now.
So, you're starting to see some? Are we getting juiced to the over?
Yeah. It's
right.
not awful. You're seeing some minus 114s, everything like that. So I think you got plenty of time to get to this 8.5. But as things settle in, and then people on the West Coast start waking up and saying, "Oh, wait, this matchup doesn't really make sense," probably a grab the over sooner rather than later. And this is one, Steve, that I think you kind of nailed it. Maybe attack some team totals in this one too.
Yeah, the other thing I'll say is the one book, as I look at Odds Logic right now, that's sitting at a 9. It's 9 under 30 over plus 10. It is one of the sharpest offshore books in the world. So that tells you maybe there's a little bit of a lean towards the over as well from the sharper books in the industry.